Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chair, the purple chair. As you can see back here, oh, that rhymed. My name is Dario. I'm flying solo today. And today, I want to talk about a topic that everybody in their life has faced ghost. And this topic, it makes us make choices, decisions that we don't want to make decisions that can bring us down a road that no one wants to really go down. And it can get us in trouble. And that is peer pressure. Right? We've all experienced it in high school. Maybe you're at a party and somebody wants you to start drinking. Somebody wants you to smoke this or try this. And you don't want to, right? But because everybody, or we'll say most of the people at that party are experimenting with this stuff, you feel as though you have to, because we all want to be liked. We all want others to accept us. And so, with everybody else making the same decisions, you feel as though you have to because you want to fit in with everybody. But I'm here to tell you, you don't. See, because if that is something that you truly don't want to do, that you truly know it is going to harm you, it won't be good for you, you have no intention to do it, then you don't have to do it. In that situation that I just talked about, let's say you are at a party and you have friends that are peer pressuring you into, let's say you've never drank before and they want you to drink. You can simply politely just say, no, I'm all set. I'm good. I'm good with that. And yeah, you may get some backlash. You may get some people saying to you, oh, come on, man. Just try a sip, just one. Go ahead. You'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen to you. And you can simply just say, nah, man, like I'm good. I'm all set. You can just walk away. See, we get peer pressured into doing things because others want us to do them. But in reality, if you think about it in here, if you don't want to do it, then why would you do it? Why would you give somebody that control over you for you to make a decision that you don't want to do? Or even worse, I believe, for you to make a decision just to fit in with others, right? As Chris says, being you is enough. And so being you and not making that decision, well, that's a tremendous strength, again, as Chris says when he talks. And it's not just about using substances to peer pressure, right? I'm also talking about maybe a group of people are picking on somebody and they want you to join in. And but these people that are picking on this person, it's a group of friend of you. It's a group of your friends. And so now you feel pressure like you have to do it. Deep down inside, you don't want to, but you feel as though because it's your friends and you want them, again, that word coming up, they want them to accept you. You want to feel wanted by them because you're their friends. Well, then you feel like you have to do it. And there are going to be some times in your life that are going to be uncomfortable. You're going to go through a lot of uncomfortable times, actually. And when you're peer pressured to do things that you don't want to do, well, that can be an uncomfortable time. That can be an uncomfortable situation. But understand that you have a choice. You always have a choice. You always, in every scenario, in every peer pressured situation in your life, you always have a choice. And that choice is up to you. You may have people who are trying to sway you, who are trying to influence you to make a certain choice. But realize at the end of the day, the only person that can decide for you. The only person that makes the choice that you're going to do is you. And don't forget that. Peer pressure makes us do things so many times that we regret. And I'm sure everybody has a story that they could tell. And they would say that if I could go back and do this all over again, I wouldn't have did it. I would have listened to that voice in here, right? That was telling me that I don't want to do it. But we let our emotions take over. And then we just act and we don't really think. So when you're in these types of pressured situations from other people, a good way to think before you decide is, and I've talked about this before, but I think they're important keys to know. So I'm going to go over them again. The first one is, just take a step back from a situation. Literally take a step back, give yourself some more space, because when you do that, it actually it relaxes you a little when you have more space between you and somebody else. And breathe, right? Breathe in through nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what that does is it calms everything down. It calms your heartbeat down and calms the emotions, the feelings that you're having down. And now you're conscious, right? You're able to actually think about this choice, this decision that is being presented with you. Okay. And so now that you're able to think, number two, you can ask yourself questions and be able to answer them with clarity instead of, again, just letting your emotions take over and acting. You can ask yourself questions like, does making this decision align with my values? Right? Does making this decision, does it get me that much closer to becoming the person that I want? Does it get me that much closer to my goals? Or does it take me a step back? And so it's important that you do those two things, those three things. You take the step back, create that space. Number two, take those deep breaths to relax everything, to calm yourself down so that you can consciously be in the situation. And when you're asking yourself those questions of, does this align with my values, my beliefs? Is this going to get me that much closer to who I want to be, my goals, my values, or does it take from me? Okay, it's important that you do those three things. And a lot of the time, so you'll have that feeling, right? You'll have that feeling that that, no, I don't want to do this. When the situation is presented to you, you just think to yourself, no, I know this isn't right. I don't want to do it. But to actually go through and to say, for example, we'll go back to the situation that I gave at the party. No, I'm all set. I'm all good. And to go against what others are doing, what most people in the situation are doing, that is hard. It's not easy to do. It's not. So many of us fall to peer pressure. And so in doing those three things of breathing, taking a step back, and asking yourself questions, it'll calm you down. That's another thing it'll do. It'll calm you down. It'll get you in that mindset so that you can speak your mind, so that you can say what you want to say and not just give in and go with the crowd and just say, oh yeah, sure, I'll have that drink. Or just join in with your friends, make fun of that person. So just remember that. Remember, you always have a choice in every situation, regardless of the peer pressure that is being put on you, regardless of how many people are putting on you. You always have a choice to make. At the end of the day, you decide what you do, not everybody else. They may influence you and try to sway you, but you decide what you do. And if you do those three things, taking a step back and breathing and asking yourself those questions, well, that's going to make you think more clearly, and that's going to give you a little bit more confidence to actually speak your mind and say what you really want to say in here. So guys, leave some comments below. Let us know what peer pressure situations in the past have you been in? And what techniques, what tips, tools have you used to actually speak your mind, to not fall to that peer pressure and give in and do what everybody else is doing when you don't want to, when you know that it's not something that you feel as though you desire to do. All right, guys, well, it was great talking to you today about the importance of peer pressure and some tools on how to get out of that peer pressured situation when you find yourself in one. Bye.